Clark just did something only one other team in this entire league has managed in the last 4 years. And this time she is not walking out onto that court alone. 2 of her own Indiana Fever teammates are coming with her, and the way this All-Star game is being built has completely changed. Let us start with the headline that set the basketball world buzzing on Thursday. Clark was voted to start her 3rd straight All-Star game. Think about that for a second. She has now been voted a starter in every single one of her 3 seasons in the Women's National Basketball Association. 3 years in the league, 3 starting nods from the fans, the players, and the media. That is not a hot streak. That is a superstar who has become a permanent fixture at the very top of the sport. But here's where it gets even bigger, and this is the part most casual fans missed. Clark is not the only member of the Indiana Fever heading to this game as a starter. She is being joined by her teammates Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston. 3 players from the same team all voted in to start the same All-Star game. That has only happened one other time in the last 4 years. The Las Vegas Aces pulled it off back in 2023. Now the Fever have matched it, and it tells you everything about how far this franchise has climbed. So how does a single team land 3 starters at once? The answer is in the numbers behind the vote, and they are staggering. The fan vote made up half of the total. Current players and a media panel each accounted for a quarter. When all of it was tallied, the top 3 vote getters among fans were Paige Bueckers, Clark, and Aaliyah Boston. And every one of those 3 players pulled in more than 1 million votes. 1 million. That is the kind of poll that used to belong only to the biggest names in the men's game. And the Fever are not the only franchise sending a group to this game. The Minnesota Lynx landed 2 starters of their own in Natasha Howard and rookie guard Olivia Miles. The Dallas Wings did the same with Paige Bueckers and Jessica Shepard. But 3 starters from one roster is a different level entirely, and only the Fever managed that this year. When you see a single team stacking the starting lineup like this, it is usually a sign that a real contender is being built, not just a collection of big names. Now let us walk through who is actually starting alongside Clark, because this roster is loaded. In the backcourt, Clark and Mitchell are lining up next to Paige Bueckers of the Dallas Wings and Minnesota rookie Olivia Miles. And that Miles selection is a story on its own. She is the 4th rookie in 4 straight years to be voted in as an all-star starter. She is also the only rookie among the 10 starters this year, which makes her rise all the more impressive. And take a closer look at that backcourt, because it might be the deepest collection of guard talent this game has ever put in a starting lineup. You have Clark and Paige Bueckers, 2 of the most hyped college stars of the last decade, now lining up on the same floor as professionals. You have Kelsey Mitchell, a proven scorer who has quietly become one of the most reliable guards in the league. And you have Olivia Miles, the rookie who forced her way into that group in her very first season. 4 guards, 4 completely different stories, all sharing the same stage. For anyone who fell in love with this sport through the college game, this is the matchup that writes itself. Up front, the front court reads like a Hall of Fame waiting room. You have Aja Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces, a 4-time most valuable player. You have Breanna Stewart of the New York Liberty, a 2-time most valuable player. Alongside them are Natasha Howard, Gabby Williams of the Golden State Valkyries, and Jessica Shepard. For Wilson and Stewart, this will be their 8th All-Star appearance, 8 times. Meanwhile, Jessica Shepard is making her very first, a reminder that this game rewards both the legends and the players finally breaking through. Here is a detail that gives Clark's return real weight. Last year, the Fever actually hosted the All-Star game on their home floor, and Clark could not play. She was injured right before the All-Star break, forced to watch the biggest showcase of the season happen in her own building without her on the court. So this is not just another selection. This is a comeback. This is her stepping back into a game she was cruelly pulled out of last time, and doing it in front of the whole league. But the single biggest change this year has nothing to do with who got voted in. It is about who picks the teams. For years, the two players who finished at the top of the fan vote would be named captains, and they would draft their own squads from the pool of all-stars. That entire system is gone this season. In its place, two Women's National Basketball Association legends are stepping in as honorary general managers. Cynthia Cooper and Teresa Weatherspoon will now select the two teams themselves from the full pool of all-stars. And these are not random names. Cynthia Cooper won 4 titles with the Houston Comets in the earliest days of the league and was a 2-time most valuable player herself. Teresa Weatherspoon spent most of her career as one of the most beloved players in New York and later became a coach. Handing the roster keys to two icons like this is part of the league's 30th anniversary celebration. It is a nod to the past wrapped around a game built on the future. So picture what this actually means for the draft. Clark, Mitchell, and Boston are all in the same pool. There is a real chance Cooper and Weatherspoon split them up and put the Fever teammates on opposite sides. Imagine Clark firing passes at Mitchell one possession, then guarding her the next. Or picture all three landing on the same squad and running the exact chemistry that got the Fever this far. Nobody knows yet, and that uncertainty is a huge part of why this year's format has fans so locked in. There is still one more piece of the puzzle to fall into place. The starters are set, but the full rosters are not. The league's head coaches are the ones who select the 12 reserves, and those names are expected to be announced in the coming week. The rules there are strict. Coaches vote for 3 guards, 5 front court players, and 4 more at either position. And they are not allowed to vote for anyone on their own team. On top of that, the coaches who will actually lead the 2 all-star squads are decided by the best records in the league following the games of July 10th. So the pool that Cooper and Weatherspoon draw from is about to get a lot deeper, with more stars, more storylines, and more tough choices to come. And that reserve vote matters because some big names did not crack the starting lineup. One of the most notable is Kelsey Plum of the Los Angeles Sparks, a proven all-star talent who finished just outside the guard cut in the fan vote this time around. Players like her are exactly why the coaches' picks are worth watching. A single reserve selection could add another household name to an already stacked pool, and it could hand Cooper and Weatherspoon an even harder decision on draft day. So even with 10 starters locked in, the roster story is far from finished. It is worth stepping back to appreciate the bigger picture here too. This is the 30th season of the league, a full 3 decades of growth from a small startup competition into a stage that now pulls in more than 1 million votes for a single player. The fact that a third-year guard like Caitlinclark can headline that milestone, while legends from the very first era return to run the draft, is a neat snapshot of how far the sport has come. Old guard and new guard sharing the same weekend. As for the main event itself, mark your calendar. The 2026 All-Star Game will be played in Chicago at the United Center on July 25th. Tip-off is set for 8:30 in the evening Eastern Time, and it will air on ABC. A brand new format, 3 Fever starters, 2 legends running the draft, and Caitlinclark returning to a stage she was forced to miss a year ago. On paper, this has all the makings of the most talked about all-star game the league has ever produced. 3 teammates, 1 million votes each at the top, and 2 legends deciding how it all shakes out. The only question left is whether Cynthia Cooper and Teresa Weatherspoon keep the Fever trio together or break them apart on draft day.